Today in Across the Fence, how something this cute translates into real-life lessons in science. It's the 4-H Embryology program. It offers Vermont school kids the chance for hands-on, up-close learning. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. UVM Extension's 4-H Embryology program has reached generations of Vermont school kids. Once again this spring, the program will be offered at schools around the state. To find out more, I'm joined by Martha Manning. Martha is the Extension 4-H educator who coordinates the statewide embryology program. Welcome, it's great to see you again.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and so this is a school enrichment program. For those who don't know what the program is, how does it work?
The embryology program is a program where schools register and sign up, and then they receive fertile chicken eggs that they place in incubators that they own and do basically a month-long lesson on how embryos develop, which also for some of the teachers turns into lessons about, other animals that lay eggs. Maybe it's frogs, maybe it's, just anything that has eggs. So it's a real hands-on science project that the kids participate in and get the experience of actually watching those eggs as the embryos develop into chicks.
Now, students get really excited about this program. Why do you think that is?
I think the students really like the project because it's the anticipation. It's like getting ready for a birthday or a big day. For 3 weeks, they are the mother hens of these eggs. They're in charge of monitoring the temperature in the incubator. They regulate the humidity. They do the turning of the eggs if they don't have an automatic turner. And they have spent weeks learning about what's going on in these eggs. And some of them may candle the eggs to actually kind of get a little view of what's going on, but it's building up to that time when those eggs will actually hatch.
What are some of the things that the children learn?
It's the hands-on piece. It's the science piece that they're getting. It's taking the responsibility for those eggs. It's just that they use it for so many things that they can relate to other areas of their life. Many of them journal about what they think may be happening in the egg, so they're using some scientific, like a hypothesis, and so it's how they can relate it to other areas of their life.
Different teachers have different approaches to teaching this?
Yes, because we have from kindergarten teachers up through high school teachers, so the teachers can work it into their curriculum so it works best for their students.
And so what role does technology play in this program?
We've seen some teachers really become really tech savvy with the program, whereas they can have a webcam inside the incubator. Kids can be at home and monitor what's going on inside the incubator from their houses. We've seen teachers use smart boards where they will project from that webcam into other areas of the school, especially like when the hatch gets close. So it's really become much more technology advanced than when we just had a styrofoam incubator sitting in a classroom.
How do you assess the program and how it works?
We do an evaluation with teachers at the end of the program, which is really difficult to do because it's at the end of the school year and there's so many things going on. But we ask for teacher input at the end of the program each year.
What are some of the reflections that students and teachers have had over the nearly 3 decades of this program?
It's nice to go into a school and see the students who then are going back to teachers they've had years previous, because they all know in the spring of the year, the embryology program happens. And so a lot of times you'll see students that want to go in and check on the eggs in a classroom that maybe they haven't been in for a number of years. We've also heard students tell us how important or what impact that had on them years later.
And so what happens to the chicks?
When the chicks are hatched, we give all the schools the option of returning the chicks to UVM Extension. And the chicks that we hatch are a commercial meat type chicken. And so we have farms and families who then take those chickens and grow them and raise them.
Is there a concern that some of the children may see these animals as pets and hate to think about giving them up?
We've never really had that problem. I think that the teachers do an outstanding job in preparing the students, and that they tell the students that the chicks will be in the classroom for a few days after they hatch, and it usually comes out that they're returned on a Friday just prior to a long weekend. So the students know that, on Friday the chicks are going back to UVM Extension, and for most of them it's just an easy transition, and they understand that that's part of the program.
What should teachers be thinking about if they want to participate in this program?
What the teachers need to do is contact us to get registered so that we can send them the information. And they can go to the website at www.uvmextension.com/youth, or they can call 1-800-571-0668, and we will connect them to all our registrations this year being done online. And so we will connect them to the site to get registered, and they need to plan about where they would put the incubator in their classroom. Certain stipulations in that you don't want to be near a bright window. It has to be somewhere where you've got easy electrical access. But we can help the teachers through all of that in getting their classroom set up.
And the equipment as well?
And how to acquire the equipment as well.
Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, this is very popular. You think you'll have even more schools participating?
Last year we had 69 schools, and some of those schools had multiple classrooms within the school. So each year we reach almost 2,000 students with the embryology program, and we're hoping for even more this year.
Well, that's wonderful. Thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thank you.
Well, today is town meeting day in the town of Milton. Longtime town clerk John Cushing is retiring after 46 years on the job. Across the Fence visited with Mr. Cushing in 2008 for a series of programs on municipal government. As part of our 60-year anniversary, we delved into our archives. Will Michael has this look back at the work of John Cushing.
No, I'm going to put it in the marriage program. It's $33 when you pick it up.
Whether you need a marriage license or a dog license, whether you're paying your water bill or your property taxes, you're in contact with municipal government.
So these are all of the refunds that we've got to do today.
One of the things I always like to say about local government is we're the closest to the people.
John Cushing is the longtime town clerk in the town of Milton.
The town clerk, in simple terms, is the person who records the town's papers. Everybody calls the town clerk's office. One of the common things they say is that, oh, you know everything. Well, really, I don't. There's a lot of things I don't know, but they feel that this is a place that they can call. Another great thing about Vermont and local government.
Milton is Vermont's 9th largest municipality, but it is governed much like its smaller brothers and sisters across the state. Simply put, it means our communities are governed by us, our friends, our neighbors, a cross-section of our communities.
Town government is unique to New England. Right, all outside of New England, it's much larger county government systems where it is all paid professionals. You might.
Deb Markowitz is Vermont's Secretary of State.
It's the government that most people can touch. Right, Montpelier, we're a little further away. Federal government, way far away. Our towns that's the government we know where town hall is. We know the people in town hall, and because of that, they're the go-to people very often, which is good, and it's also a challenge.
The Secretary of State's office helps local government officials meet the challenges of running a town in which millions of public dollars are spent and questions of public policy arise.
We're the office that provides assistance and information to the people who run our communities, but we also provide assistance and information to citizens who either want to know how to get involved or who've got a question about whether things are running properly in their community. We also, put out a lot of publications. We've got thousands of officials who receive our monthly opinions newsletter, which have little opinions about the law. My office here has been committed to providing answers. People just want answers. They want to know, they want to do it right. They don't want to violate the open meeting law or the public records law. They want to do it right.
But getting it right requires certain skills.
If I was going to craft a job description for a municipal official, I would say that they would need to have a genuine interest in helping the community.
By raising your hand. This is the against vote.
you know, a good listener is always welcome, I think. Somebody who listens first, talk second, you know, really can hear what's going on before you bring your experience to the table. And folks should know that, you know, every single person out there is qualified. You're qualified because you have the benefit of your own life experience. So if you take your own life experience at whatever you're doing and you add to it a good listening ear, a good way to listen to everybody around you, and some compassion and understanding, then you'll be part of the solutions in your community.
Town Clerk's office, Loretta speaking.
Being part of the solution means working together, whether it's on a new ordinance or building the town budget.
For an example, the select board gets the budget approved or goes to the people with the budget. Once the budget's approved, we know the amount of the taxes we need to raise. The assessors are at that time going out and they're assessing all of this property all over Milton and determining what the assessment is. If the lister decides, I don't think I feel like doing the assessing this year, or the select board decides they're not going to do a budget, or the treasurer decides, I don't think I want to send the tax bills this year, the system falls. So even if I don't like the lister, or the lister doesn't like me, or whatever, we have to put that aside to make the system work for the people.
These accounts, we got to move this over.
And it's that accountability, the proximity of local government to the people, that makes our system of local control unique.
Now you get your tax bill from me and say, well, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. And, you know, maybe the assessment's wrong. Or maybe I did something with, maybe I multiplied the tax rate wrong, or whatever it is, you can come see me and I can talk to you and I can explain it to you. So now either we've fixed the problem, if there was a problem, or at least you understand how the process worked. And that means a lot to me, and I think it does to us who live here.
A town clerk's office is responsible for all local land records.
We don't think about it because they're there.
Gregory Sanford is the state archivist.
But let's say the town hasn't created microfilm for theirs and the town hall burns down. Go prove that you own your property if there's no duplicate copy somewhere else, or if the indexing is such as that you can't find it, go prove it. So that there are certain functions at the municipal level now that receive almost no attention that are really essential to our day-to-day lives. If you lose those town records, how do you prove where that public right-of-way is?
The biggest issue that faces the clerk, and that is the land records. We as property owners in the state of Vermont, all of us, have no idea the importance of the records that are kept in the municipal office, in their vaults. Hopefully they're kept in a vault.
Tackling problems like land records is one of the many challenges of local government. But if we value our system and want to maintain it, we have to participate.
Well, running in local office doesn't cost any money at all, really. I mean, it's very rare that you'll have a local official do more than knocking on doors or going to the dump to, introduce them, themselves to folks in the community. So money shouldn't be a barrier for running for office. Very often the barrier truly is it's hard to put yourself on a ballot. I mean, that's a little scary.
If the prospect of putting your name on the ballot is too nerve-wracking, town government offers other opportunities to serve.
We have planning commission, zoning boards of adjustment, or development review boards. Some communities have historic preservation boards. There's library trustees. There's a recreation committee in many towns. And in your community, you should call the town clerk or the select board, or if you've got a manager, the manager's office, and ask, what are some of the appointed positions, and are there vacancies, and how do I get involved? And you'll be surprised how fast you get snatched up, because our local offices are looking for volunteers.
Volunteers who keep our communities running. In Milton, I'm Will Michael with Across the Fence.
And that's our program for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.